Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Antonio from Mod Studio, and in this 3-part tutorial series I'll be showing you guys how to create a Aloe Ferox VFX ready plant. So in part 1 we'll be using 3ds Max to model the leaf assets in, and then UVing it with Rizom UV, and then finally detailing it with ZBrush. Then in part 2 of this series I'll be showing you guys how to paint the leaves in Substance Painter, and then in part 3 we'll be assembling it in SpeedTree and then rendering it in V-Ray. So without any further ado guys, let's jump into the tutorial. First, just to check if the unit systems are correct, go into customize and then unit setup. In system units, make sure it's centimeters and press OK, and then make sure the display unit scale is set to millimeters. And what I've done here is I've just quickly created a reference box to model in the leaf. So we'll be modeling in the top view. My hotkey for going through the displays is spacebar, but I think the default view is Alt V to go through the cycles. So once you're in the top view, what you need to do is go into your panel over here, into the plus icon, and select the splines. So once you're in the spline, select the line tool and start shaping out the leaf like so. I'll link the reference images in the description down below for you guys to use. As I've seen, there isn't any reference images on the internet at the moment, so I'll provide those for you guys. Once you've done creating the leaf like that, we'll just need to weld some points together like these two, enlarge the radius like so, and then center this to the middle. Go into the modify, select that, go into the move, that's W on my keyboard, and then move that in like so. Go down and move that to the center, and make sure this is set to corner, and the same goes for the top one. That should be to corner. Now all you need to do is just finally tweak the shape of your leaf, so on through the process. Rotate some Bezier curves and so on. This one we can shape a little bit better. This one in like so. Hide your reference box, zoom out, go to spacebar, and all we need to do now is edit poly this. So once you've done this, let's just change this purple color to gray. Hide the grid, G on the keyboard, and all you need to do now is let's put on the subdivide modifier, F4 on the keyboard for edge faces, and then choose adaptive. Let's take this down to about 30 like so, and then all you need to do is locate the new retopology modifier, put that on, leave these as default, and then quickly put in a face count of 50. That seems to work. Put on another edit poly modifier, select the one vertex in the middle, and quickly select your symmetry modifier on the x-axis, and that's it. So I think all we need to do is just tweak the middle part a bit. So in order to do that, let's quickly put on an edit poly, move in this face a bit, this vertex, and then just in your scale, just quickly scale this, center the pivot point, and then scale in the leaf asset like so. Okay, so this is done for the base leaf. So all we need to do now is create the shape of the leaf. In order to do that, let's go into the edit poly, in vertex number 1 on my keyboard, select them, Go into the modifier stack and select FFD 3x3x3. So all we need to do now is select the control points, select the middle control points, B on the keyboard for move, and move them down like so. And that's it for the lower part of the leaf. Now all we need to do is duplicate this one up, copy this, okay, and then move these control points of this second copy down a bit like so. Take this one, move this a bit up. These ones all go down a bit like so. Select the center one again. We increase this a little bit more. Okay, let's move this down a bit. Select the bottom one. Attach a edit poly to it. Select the entire object. Right click, flip normals. And once you've selected this one, let's attach the top one as well. Go into the border mode, select both borders, Control in, and select faces to convert them to the edge. And then deselect two of them here, like so, and quickly bridge it. All you need to do now is cap this all, so, and on this face we need to add a swift loop. While inserting this swift loop, holding shift, so it creates a nice curve to it. Go into the face mode, by angle, put that on and set it to 20, and select the top part in face mode. Scale this a bit in like so, and move these ones in like so. I'm just doing this roughly, guys. You guys can spend some much time with this and create a perfect leaf for you guys. Okay, quickly put on a turbo smooth modifier to see how the leaf looks like. And so far it looks pretty nice. Okay, so the next part will be to create the other two variants as well. So once you've finalized this mesh, all you need to do is duplicate this mesh how many copies you want it. So in this case I'm doing 2. Another one. There we go. And F4 for edge faces. And all we need to do is create our other variants. So in this case I want the top part of this leaf to break off like so, and then this one we do the same, break this one off maybe a bit farther like so. So now we've created these other two variants. All we need to do now is cap these, select border mode while we're on this one, border, cap, go into cut mode, and quickly cut these points, cut them through like this, cut this one through, okay, and add a swift loop to the faces here. Select by angle again, deselect swift loop, and then just quickly scale this down. Scale it down in the axis as well, and then quickly let's move this in like so, not too much, that looks okay. And now to the other variant as well, select these, cap this, and then quickly cut the necessary edges in this one as well, and cut it. So the same process for this one. Swift loop, face mode. Select the necessary faces, scale them in, scale the top parts in, and move this a bit in like so. So now all your leaf variants are created. All we need to do is to move the vertices in place where necessary, and go into your effect pivot only, center to objects, okay, and put on your snap to toggle on, and snap the pivot point to one over there, to this vertex over there, and the same goes for this one. So now we'll be quickly aligning this one to the center of the world, to move and center this one to the world like so. The same goes for this one. Then move this one out, because we'll be exporting these to RizomUV to create one UV map, and move these ones out as well like so. So now the leaves are modeled. All we need to do is export all these selected ones to RizomUV. So go to export, export selected, and let me just quickly locate my tutorial folder. Okay, RizomUV and OBJ. I'll just overwrite my previous one. Save, yes, export. So guys, while UV Rizom is opening, the process for the dead leaves are fairly simple. It's the same way as this one, but what we'll be doing is we'll be using the main leaf variant of this set to create the other two dead leaf variants as well. So let's head on back over to RizomUV and start the UVs. So guys, there we are in RizomUV. Let's go to loading our mesh. This one, and there it is. So all we need to do is, let's start with these. Select the edges like so. The same goes for this one. Select these ones. Deselect that one because we don't need that one. Okay, let's quickly cut. This is a cool thing that I like about UV, RizomUV, because if you do this in 3ds Max and you would like to cut here again, it will go straight through this faces. So that's why I like to use RizomUV for my UVs. So quickly select these sides, go into this one, cut. Same goes for this one. Okay. And then finally the main leaf variant as well. And cut. Now we quickly pull this. We've missed one there. Let's cut that as well and unfold again and pack. And what we need to do is, in the initial orientation, let's put this to Z and quickly stack again. So everyone is in this axis over here, and quickly fit. So now our UVs are created. All we need to do now is to export these out and then stack them on each other in 3ds Max and export those out to ZBrush. So let's quickly go and export these out. Export, enable, overwrite the previous one that I made. Once that's done, let's head on over to 3ds Max. Let's quickly hide these. Import, and go to the folder and leaves exported. import them, close. Let's just quickly skip these. Okay. File, import. Let's import these again, sorry. Rename all, sorry, and okay. So now let's quickly stack these on each other. Let's redo those pivots again. Snap this pivot. So this pivot over there. Same one to there. Same one to there. Okay, now we just need to align these on top of each other, like so, and export each one out. So let's go to export, selected, because we don't want to export them all. Go into the ZBrush folder, and let's call this one variant 1. Save, export that one out. Go into this one, the second variant. Export, selected. Variant 2. And then finally the last variant. File, export selected, and variant 3. Like so. So guys, the next step that I was showing you guys is to create the VDM brush, the thorns on the side and on the back and front faces, to add some detail in ZBrush. It's a fairly simple process to do this, so I'll be speeding through this. So guys, we're here in ZBrush. So the first thing we need to do to create our VDM brushes is to go to Lightbox, go into the miscellaneous folder, and select our pre-subdivided grid panel. Okay, untick perspective and floor, go into subdivision level 8, and let's just quickly mask these edges. We don't want them to move. Okay, so let's just quickly move this. Let's put this back on again and go to our move tool, BMV. Enlarge the size, the draw size a bit, something like that. And let's quickly move this out, see where we're at. Maybe let's go back to the subdivision level 5. Okay, slightly move it like this. Okay, so all we need to do now is put on our symmetry mode. Let's snap this to the center, and let's just squeeze in the thorn, like so. Go into the side and move this a bit up. So we have this shape going. You can decrease the size of your brush. Move these like so. Smooth this out. Go into the subdivision level 7. Start smoothing this like so. Smooth this out. Go back down, and in the move tool while we're here, let's squeeze this a bit more. Smooth this out. Okay. Alright, so that is it for this thorn. So all we need to do now is to create your VDM brush. Go into your brush icon, choose the chisel brush over here. While this is selected like so, let's just quickly smooth everything out here. Okay, select your brush, go into create, and create multi-alpha brush. So as you can see, it's there in your brush. In order to save this, you need to go into brush again, save as, rename this to anything you want. And in order for you to have a preview window, all you need to do is go into your polysphere and create a make poly 3D mesh, subdivide it a bit, okay, and then while your VDM brush is selected, just quickly click and drag them out. It looks like I've accidentally, sorry guys, there we go. Create your preview window like this, and in order to save the preview window, all you need to do is go into brush, alt click, alt right click, and there you have your preview window. But it seems to me I have flipped this over. Okay, like so guys. So that is the process to create the VDM brushes. So the next step will be to add these thorns to the leaf variants themselves. The same process goes for the smaller thorn. Do this guys and you'll be S4 away. So let's head on over. All we need to do is import our new leaf variants. Let's start with variant number 1. Let's frame this in. Import, let's go into document, new document again. Import this one, drag it out, edit. Okay, let's frame this. Let's bring in our other variants as well. Append, append this one. Polymesh, import variant 2. Append again. Polymesh and import variant 3. So now we have our variants. Let's quickly put them into a folder. Let's call this high poly. Okay, so let's drag down this variant 2 and variant 1 as well. All right, so let's start with variant 1. Let's subdivide this to level 7. I went ahead and created my other VDM brushes as well. Let's zoom in here. Not too close because we need to see what we're doing. Okay, so let's quickly select this VDM, press X, and start dragging them out. Not too big, but not too small. But I will be speeding through this guys and I will see you in a bit. So guys, we are done with adding the details to the mesh. These thorns might be a bit too big, but that's not the purpose of this tutorial. The purpose is to show you guys the process, how to create your own leaf asset if you don't have a scanned model available. So after you've done this, let's head on over to the second variant. Let's select this one. Divide this to subdivision level 7. Let's zoom in at the top and let's quickly mask out the top part. So add some masking. Alright, let's bring back the mainly variant. Go down to the project panel, 0.044 distance, and project all. As you can see, it projected some details. Maybe some fixing is required at some places. Okay, and let's do this for the third variant as well. Let's bring in, let's hide that one and quickly divide this to subdivision level 6 and mask this out as well, like so. Let's go down to the masking tab and blur out the mask a bit, like so. Bring back your leaf variant number 1 and go down to the project settings and 0.04 for the distance again. So after you've done this, your high poly leaf assets for speed tree is created. So all we need to do is to duplicate this folder and create our decimated versions for use in speed tree itself. Okay, so let's quickly hide this, click on the cog, and let's where is it? Duplicate. Sorry, duplicate this and say okay. So once you've duplicated this, let's rename this one to decimation for decimation, like so. Let's hide this one, open up this one, select your main leaf variant, select this one, go into the Z plugin tab at the top, select decimation master. But before we do this, we need to add some surface noise detail to the mesh. Otherwise, decimation master will keep this smooth and this will not work in speed tree itself. So let's head on down to the surface tab, go into the noise. Let's put this to UV and let's quickly zoom in and rotate this like so. Let's increase the scale and the strength, decrease that a slight bit like so. Let's quickly say okay, see what we have, and let's apply to mesh. So now we have this slight surface noise. So if we go into the Z plugin again, into the decimation master, we need to keep UVs and then process current quickly. If you have a beefy machine, this would be a very fast process. If you have a slow PC, just take your time, it will finish. So after your decimation has run, we'll be taking this leaf and give it 3 LOD levels for variant 1. And the same goes for leaf variant number 2 and 3. So once it has written to the disk, let's go back into the decimation tab. Here down at the custom panel, let's put in 6,000 or 7,000 points for the high poly version, as you can see, like so. All we need to do is quickly, let's rename this to Z LOD 0. Okay, so let's duplicate this one as well. Now it's LOD 1. Let's go back into the Z plugin and put the second LOD to, let's say, 3000 and run it again. And now for the last one, let's duplicate it again. go into the Z plugin, put it to 1000 and custom. So now the LODs are set up for the first leaf variant. You guys will do the same process for leaf variant 2 and 3. So what I'll be showing you guys now is to create the dead leaf from one of the high polys. But before we go to that part, let's head on over back to this one. And I'll quickly show you guys how to export. If you've created your LOD levels for variant 2 and 3, how to export them all in one go. So all you need to do is go into the Z plugin, go into your multi-map exporter, select export mesh, okay, and go into subtools. So the active subtools that you see will be exported. So all you need to do is create all maps. It will overwrite or will create new maps. Let's just quickly do it like so. And then it is running through the maps. So all of those will be exported out. So let's go back into the high poly version. Let's go back into high poly, select this one, hide the bottom one. Let's create a duplicate of this one, like so. And let's rename this to variant 1 Z dead. Okay. So this is our dead leaf. In order to, let's make it a bit scrunched up and stuff like that, let's go back to subdivision level 4 or 3, frame this, select your move tool, your move brush, increase your draw size, and just start moving around points like so, just to give it some character. Okay, move this one up, not too much. If you move this off the center line, speed tree won't be able to fold it and curl it correctly. So just bear that in mind when doing this. All right, once you've done this, let's head on over to the higher subdivision level, like so. And let's go back into the surface, go into noise, UV, scale it up, and now we give it in this direction noise in the X scale, and the Y scale, let's enlarge this like so. Let's scale this up some more and increase the noise, not too much, something like that, and apply. Just change this skin shader to something like this. Once you've done this, apply to mesh, and this will be your dead leaf variant. And the same process for the high poly variant to create the other leaf variants and the LOD levels goes for this one as well. So this is it for part 1 of the part 3 tutorial series, guys. So I hope you guys found this informative, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down there. Hit that bell icon to keep updated for part 2 of this tutorial. So hope you guys are doing well, stay safe and take care. Bye bye.